Hi again, everyone, and welcome into Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Erpine, and we have a special guest today, Bengals wide receiver Andrei Iosivas, with training camp looming less than a week away. Andre, I appreciate the time. Hopefully, you're having a great offseason. You're going to have to deal with me plenty in the near future, so I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me. I don't mind seeing your face. It's cool, man.
I have to start because I think I said it right, Andrei Iosivas. A lot of people don't say it right, including I've heard it pronounced a bunch of different ways, and obviously fans do. And what's the craziest way someone has pronounced your name?
Yeah, so I'll take you back to college. I was just a freshman at Princeton, and I said when I first got there, I wasn't really a high recruit or anything, so I was running with the threes and the fours and maybe even the fives or whatever. Whoever was down there, we are just all together. So we're doing a team period, and everyone's rotating, and I hear my coach yelling for someone to get in there, yelling his lungs out, saying like, "Iosivas, get in, Iosivas." I'm like, dang, like who? I don't know anyone like with that name. And by the time I figured it out, my coach is running up to me screaming, get the F in there." I was like, oh yeah, that's my name, I guess now. So that's probably the only time I've really been like, wow, I really didn't know that he was calling my name.
Has that coach made fun of that in hindsight? Did that become a moment, or is that just something that you
It's
remember and not
Yeah,
necessarily?
that's more of a me memory than I don't think he cares, to be honest. So it's more of a me memory for sure.
He should care because you had 10 touchdowns in your first two NFL seasons. I'm not trying to flex for you, but I think that certainly goes a long way. I'm sure he's closer to saying it right now. What uh, what have the past 2 years been like for you? From going from a sixth round pick, obviously you're coming from Princeton. You were a standout there. People certainly believed in you there, and then you're a sixth round pick. You're kind of fringe roster guy when you're drafted to this Bengals team with all the weapons and that they have, and now you're wide receiver three. You're cemented in that spot in a big part of this offense.
Yeah, it's been a great journey for me, to be honest. So I think being drafted in the sixth round, first of all, put a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. Just coming from a small school, knowing that I had to prove myself. Coming into training camp like super wide eyed, white belt mentality. I think that kind of stuff helps though. Coming in wanting to learn, knowing that you can be better. That kind of I feel like that helped me with my path and really I had to make a couple plays in training camp, to kind of get some eyes on me. And then my second year, I worked as hard as I could because I knew there was much more potential to be unlocked. And I, cemented that spot at the wide receiver three. And the game experience now that I got from last year really helped me a lot in the slot and on the outside and just moving around and being in there all the time when Jamar and T were tired. All those little reps matter, and it's just helping me become the best receiver I can be.
What was your mindset coming in? And is it any different now? Because I'm not sure it is. Like I feel like you've always been confident. You've always believed in yourself. You've always chatted with the media and said how you feel. And it's usually pretty honest, Andre,
Yeah.
throughout it. I mean, how do you think things have evolved over the past couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a difference between being confident. Like I'm always confident, but I always know that there's room to grow. And I think a lot of people mistake confidence for like thinking you're the best. I mean, you're supposed to think you're good. Obviously, you're in the NFL, but there comes a line where if you really want to get better, you have to be confident enough in your abilities, but also understand that other people have strengths that you can learn from and experiences. And that's how I'll probably be till the end of my career, always learning. And yeah, I think now I feel like I can teach people though, and so that's pretty cool. And now that I have a better understanding of the game and the nuances of routes and the skills, like that's the next step I'm taking.
The thing I think that is pretty unique, maybe it's not unique, but it feels unique with wide receivers. And I'll go back to T during the offseason program. Says he's learning from you. And he says he's trying to learn from everybody. I could think of Chad Johnson back in the day, and he's like, I'm always trying to add little pieces from different wide receivers' games. Is that How unique is that to wide receiver? And who do you pay attention to or try to pick the mind of? And is it just as simple as everyone because you never know what you're going to learn?
Yeah, I mean, that was really nice of T to say. I saw that little clip. That was really cool to see. But it's just guys, and that's how you kind of understand that people are starting to respect you also at the same time. So it was nice for him to hear, but also was a validation that I was getting the respect that I knew I like was deserved of. Um, but yeah, I mean, just being a receiver in general, you are always looking. I mean, everyone's built a little bit differently, like just your body anatomy. So there are some things guys can do that other guys just can't, just based off your body. But there's some guys who are such technical guys or do things, that. So for example, like Jamar, like a big thing I've been working on this offseason was just coming back negative, maybe at the last second, just so I can get that little angle on like a safety or someone driving on the ball, so I can get 5 more yards on the catch, and that's something that Jamar does really well. So my coach and I have implemented that into our training regiment this year, and pretty much for everyone who's training down here, same thing. I like watching T. Another guy I like watching is like AJ Brown, very technical guy. And just people. I mean, there's someone new all the time. Jacoby Myers, all those kind of guys.
We'll get back to our conversation with Andrei Iosivas in just a second. But before we do that, I have to tell you about American Home Tech. Over 8,000 customers have trusted American Home Tech, and it's easy to see why. They're your local experts and a one-stop shop for all of your home improvement needs, handling everything from roofing to siding to gutters to windows to doors to decks to interior remodeling and more. Visit AmericanHomeTech.com to schedule your free consultation with the experts you can trust. Again, go to AmericanHomeTech.com. So it's interesting. The first thing that comes to my head when I think of A.J. Brown is just his size and speed. But then I think of Jacoby Myers, and I do think of the route running and his ability to get open and to find his way to 10 receptions in any given week.
Right.
So that's the example, I guess. But what makes A.J. unique outside of his size and speed? Let's start with him, because I think that's interesting that you mentioned him, because I think a lot of people would just view him as a physical freak that can get open because of those traits.
AJ, he has everything. He has physicality. He's big. He's strong. He's fast, but he's also very technical, and so he can get open in a way that Jacoby could also. You know what I mean? Like if he really, really needs to. And so that's just someone that I want to model my game after, just because I feel like I'm big, strong, fast, and elusive as well in the slot. Like especially playing in the slot, I have to be more elusive. So there's a lot of things I can learn from AJ.
You mentioned the slot. It was a big deal last year, you moving to the slot some and learning that spot. And from my vantage point, it was simple. You were clearly the third best receiver on the team behind Jamar and T. They want their best players on the field. A way to get you on the field is move you into the slot some when Jamar isn't in there. And obviously he played that as well. You're capable of playing outside. That's where you've been. But what was that transition like to go into the slot, knowing it was about to happen, and also knowing that it was going to give you more opportunities?
Yeah, it was. I was. I wouldn't say I was uncomfortable. I was just kind of like, okay, what is this going to be like? In the slot. I've seen a bunch of film of TB, obviously, but there's also it's just like a different kind of game in there. There's much more you have to maneuver. You're really in tune with what the defense is doing. The rotation of the safeties, like that's pretty. You are always locked in that kind of stuff in the slot, because then you have to go block. Okay, is the safety rotating down? Okay, do I have to go motion over there to take him out? You know what I mean? So it's fun though, because it helped me learn the game more actually, and I think it will help my career in the future, just because I'm very comfortable on the outside, but now that I'm so comfortable on the like in the slot, I think it just expands my game so much, and I do have the tools to be successful on the outside and on the inside. So it really just helped my career out, to be honest, and my path. At first I was confused, and now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big reason why when I think of this offense, that I think, oh, well, this offense can take another step. And even with Joe having the year he did, and Jamar and T having the 10 touchdowns in 12 games, you with 6 touchdowns in performing well, it's another year for you or you've had this kind of role and you've had a significant role. So you should be better at 25 years old than you were last year. Mike Gesicki's entering his second year in this offense. Tee Higgins, who's in the NFL top 100 this week, is 77th overall. Like, he's entering his prime. Jamar seems like he's been in his prime for the past 4 years. Like, there's room for this offense and these skill guys to grow and be even better, even though you guys were averaging 28 per game last year and dominating at times.
Yeah, I mean, I think, all of us are like pretty young, and even with Mike, we call him uncle sometimes, but like, he's really not, like, he still moves super well. Like, I feel like age nowadays is kind of, with the recovery that we have and how seriously people take it, I think like he's moving well. He's like running away from DBs in practice. Like, he looks great. But yeah, you just have 1 year, and we had the same like skill positions. And so now that we've had that rapport with Joe, and it's pretty much my second year with Joe too, because my rookie year, I didn't really get to throw with Joe that much because he got hurt. So it's me and Mike's second year, it's Chase's second year, like being all together in this cohesive offense, and we have all the pieces to like make a defense, scramble. So it's gonna be really, really fun.
Yeah, what is the next step for this offense? Is it part of the passing game? Is it the run game and being more effective there? Like, where do you think this offense should improve, or where are you hopeful that it will improve?
Well, I think that, now that Chase is the feature back, in my opinion, he's going to be one of the best running backs in the league. You saw what he did when I don't know what week he really was the running back one, but if he played it in the Steelers game, he would have had 1,000 yards on the ground. And I don't know how many he had in the passing game, but he can catch a check down and go for 10. You know what I mean? At any given moment. So he's just that another guy that defense is going to have to take care of, and he can pass block. So you have that guy in there, he can do everything, and that just opens up the run. I mean, I think he's going to run through defenses this year, and he's going to be really good.
You're training with him. Let's dive into your training a little bit. I know you've been working really, really hard, head down type stuff. I was asking you about that before we started recording. Who are you working with from a training standpoint? What NFL players are down there? Because I hear it's some familiar faces.
Yeah, so I'm working with this guy. His name is Drew Lieberman. He works the Sideline Hustle Instagram, like that's his page. And it's been great. We've been doing, just fundamental work, tuning up, running back down through the ball, catching full extension, running full speed into your routes and out of them. It's a bunch of just tedious, grindy stuff like that. And we got like a bunch of Bengals guys down here. It's me, Chase, and this is our second year in the program. And then Charlie had come down for the spring and the summer. Then we have Jordan Moore, the Duke undrafted kid down here as well. And then Kendrick Pryor also. So we have a bunch of Bengals guys down here. It's pretty fun.
The thing that stands out when you describe that, a bunch of receivers and then Chase Brown as well. Why do you think is it because it's the pass first Bengals offense and he knows that?
Yeah, I think that, as a lot of this stuff really helps. We're shifting, we're breaking down. It's a lot of stuff that can translate to being a running back. And I think he's confident in, I feel like in his skills as a running back. So he can break tackles. He's super fast. He's elusive. He can see, he's just really good as a runner. And I think obviously as that next step and as the offense we're in as a passing attack, it doesn't hurt at all to want to break a linebacker off on a choice route or, run a deep out. You never see a running back really do that. And we joke around saying that once, Chase is done being a running back, he can transition to being a slot receiver, couple years down, just because he's working out with us and he looks that good. Like, you would never know he's a running back by the way he trains with us. It's great.
Yeah, that's wild. I know a lot of Bengals fans are excited to see him handle a full workload and be in the mix as RB1 to start the year. We'll get back to my conversation with Bengals receiver Andrei Iosivas in just a second, but first a word from Win-Win Athletics. And spoiler, I'm about to talk flag football and the Olympics with Andrei Iosivas coming up in part of this interview. And Win-Win Athletics is making life so much easier. The Win-Win flag kit is like a football field that you can carry. It's got everything you need to play a game of 5-on-5 flag football anywhere, designed for simplicity and built to perform. That sounds like a win-win, and here it is, right here. Boom, the win-win flag football kit. It is that easy, a whole football field right here. Now, let's get back to my conversation with Andrei Iosivas. I do think, just when I think of this offense, I'm like, man, you guys have so many options. And one thing for you that has been a huge part of it, you have the 10 touchdowns. I mentioned it earlier in the interview. You have 10 touchdowns in 2 seasons. What is it about the red zone? What is it about you and Joe that you have that rapport to connect in big moments, whether it's on the road, whether it's at home? You guys on those critical downs got to have it plays. Have found ways to score points.
Yeah, I think it's, a credit of the work that I've put in, but also, situationally speaking, in the red zone, you can really tell when, teams are going to get doubled. So if that's going to happen, then I'm like going to win my one-on-one in the red zone. And if it's not double, then, I just use my size, my strength, my speed, and get to the spot. And Joe will probably put it on me in the right spot. So you really just got to run to a spot and just, look for the ball. And that's how it is playing with Joe.
Did you watch quarterback at all?
I've seen some clips. I'm actually going to start watching it today.
It's good. Even if you just watch the Joe parts, it's good. I think it's worth the time. I watched the whole thing even because I'm so curious about the process. I love that. I wish it would have showed more of how Joe breaks down film. We didn't really see much of that.
Yeah.
And like I've seen Brady video clips of Brady doing it, and I'm so curious because Joe he's the smartest quarterback in the NFL. I don't think that's really a take. Like,
yeah,
what you guys put on him mentally, and so how he studies. I'm so curious to know his process. But no, it's good. It's worth the watch for sure.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, it's definitely cool to like rewatch some of the moments and see like, guys kind of get heated or guys like really happy. It's kind of fun to like in the moment, obviously it's really serious, but after the scene is done, you're like, oh, that is kind of fun. It's just it's a good time with the guys.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think this is the last thing from me, but I think there are so many people. They've asked Joe and they've asked Jamar, but you're obviously a great athlete, not a good athlete. You're a great athlete, multiple sports, the track and field career at Princeton. Have you thought about the Olympics and the idea of the flag football side of things? Because if I were you, I probably would have thought about it, but I'm curious, have you?
The only Olympics that I've thought about, honestly, is not related to football. It's been more, coming out of college, the decathlon.
Yeah.
If my, I didn't know how my career was going to go as a late round draft pick and this stuff didn't work out, whatever, then I could fall back onto some track stuff. But now I think I've been watching some like videos of flag football and it seems like a different game though. Like it's weird.
It is.
It's like it's football. Obviously you're throwing and catching the ball and there's touchdowns, but I don't know. I think it's pretty different. So there definitely be a period where a lot of the tackle football guys who want to play like need to learn it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm thinking. I was trying to think of guys that would be the best. And I don't think the guys that would be the best are the guys you'd be thinking of necessarily. Like, I think you'd be really good. I do.
Yeah.
And it's unique in that. Like, I think Jamar would be really good, but I think maybe Tee is the guy because you could just throw it 50 feet in the air and you just have him go.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be the tall, fast guys are like the little short, little shifty dudes. And like, those are probably the two ends of the spectrum that would be good at flag football.
So Chase Brown for Canada is what you're saying.
Good. Definitely. Yeah. I know he might like accidentally run through someone's face, but other than that, he would be pretty good.
It might be for sure. Andrei, I really appreciate the time. Training camp is next week. I know you're busy. So thanks for spending some time with us. And I look forward to seeing you in person next week.
Yeah. Appreciate it.